Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome into Tempe, Arizona for tonight's great matchup of ACHA hockey between the Arizona State Sun Devils and the Minot State Beavers. Hi, everybody. I'm Dominic Cotronio, along with the new face. You've known him in the intermission, in the pregame, and the postgame. It's Kyle Kircheval joining us today. Welcome to the broadcast tonight, Kyle.
Thanks, Dom. Should be fun. Should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this.
This is going to be a lot of fun tonight. Two top-ranked teams in the ACHA, but before we get more into that, let's pause for a moment for the starting lineups and the national anthem.
At right wing, number 63, Logan Harroff. At center, number 26, Cole Olson. At left wing, number 21, Brett McNevin. On defense, number 51, Eric Bullifer. At number 10, Nick Zern. And in goal tonight, number 29, Riley Hendrick. And now, here's the starting lineup for your Sun Devils. At right wing, freshman from Winnipeg, Manitoba, number 20, Jared Morris. At center, sophomore from Westfield, Pennsylvania, number 12, Tommy Moody. At left wing, sophomore from St. Louis, Missouri, Chris Burkhammer. On defense, sophomore from New Boston, Michigan, number 7, Connor Schmidt. On defense, sophomore from Scottsdale, Arizona, number 2, Drew Newmeyer. And between the pipes, number 35, Highland Park, Illinois, sophomore Robert Levin. Your Sun Devils. This time we ask you all to please rise, remove your caps, and enjoy the play of our national anthem.
All right, back here, ready to go right now for ASU and Minot State here. A great matchup between two squads that have already met this season, Kyle. Earlier in the year, up in North Dakota, ASU won both of those games 3-1 and 4-2. So now the Beavers coming into ASU's ice. Do you expect any sort of revenge tone that they could bring out here tonight?
Well, you know, always when you have two top teams like this, you're always going to have a sense, a little bit of chip on your shoulder coming into the ice arena, especially with these two teams who saw each other earlier in the year. Yeah, I think there's going to be a bit of revenge in it, but still got to play some smart hockey, and it should be a good one.
Well, let's get to the starting lineups first for the visiting Minot State Beavers. Their front line, their top line, working things out. Offside called here against the Sun Devils. Their starting lineup, from the left wing, it's Brett McNevin. The center, Cole Olson. And the right wing is Logan Harroff. The starting D pair is also the top pairing which is Eric Bolifer and also Nick Zern. Their starting goalminder tonight is Riley Hengen. For the Devils, they go with their third line to start things off with Chris Burkemper on the left wing, Tommy Cooney the center, and Jared Morris on the right. And the D pairing is Drew Newmeyer and Connor Schmidt. That's the top pair. And in net is the star of the Sun Devils, Mr. Robert Levin, the sophomore from Highland Park, Illinois. Minot State plays it in. They get ready to go in a hurry. This is a team that's got a lot of speed, a bit of an adjustment for them since their previous years, with their defense being the thing that really struck a lot of fear into opponents. And now their speed and their ability to attack is something that you really have to take into account for. ASU tried to get something into the offensive zone but could not. On the far side, it's Nespor. He sends a wrister, but good D by Schmidt. He gets his own shot, though. Nespor coming around. He's got a couple guys waiting in the slot. All the way back up top. Feeds it over there. That's Pond. He sends a wrister, saved by Levin.
You know, Dom, you were talking about speed a little bit earlier, and, you know, the thing against this Arizona State team is that there's just so much talent on the ice. These guys can move the puck around at an extraordinary level, but what we really see night in and night out here in Oceanside is teams coming in trying to out-hustle ASU, and we've seen that. We've seen teams like Colorado be successful. I think Minot State needs to use that, use their speed, and use that hustle, try to get on the board early here against a really talented Sun Devil team.
Sun Devils win the draw. McGovern having some trouble inside of the corner. Just underway here from Tempe. Finally, ASU is trying to get some clearance here. Cooney, he tries to find Young, but it was out of his reach. D'd away by Peak. These are two teams that match up very well with their good offense, and don't sleep on either defense, and they both have very good goalies. There's a collision. Ed McGovern lays into Nespor right at the red line, and it was a perfect measuring stick, and McGovern won that one. A high puck. Icing is on the way, and they will call it before the man in chasing is Lyndon Lipinski.
Yeah, and that physicality, we see that from Ed McGovern right there. You know, ASU is usually not the team to get on the hit column first. Usually we see opponents coming in and playing with a lot of aggressive style in that first part of the game. But ASU, hey, maybe they're going to match that physicality early.
Troy Hoban sends a low puck in. Didn't even get all the way into Hengen. And now Minot State gets it out. The Beavers come in with a 10-6-1 record this season. And they're 13-2. That second loss came last weekend in the finale of a 3-game set on the East Coast against the Stony Brook Seawolves. Right now, Minot State has a chance in the slot. Backhanded there by Peak. Still behind the net now. Brought around. A backhanded chance for more. Now they're still in front, but Levin wasn't let anything through. Now a shot comes in. He saves that from the captain of the Beavers.
Yeah, and back to what you were saying in terms of the rankings with these teams. Both of these teams, are absolutely capable of beating one another. And the thing about Arizona State, they're 10-0 here at Oceanside. It's hard. It's evidently hard to come in here and win a hockey game. Minot State, they have the talent. They just need to bring the offense. They need to play with a little more than they usually bring. And they got a shot at beating this team.
ASU goes for a couple of new guys onto the ice. Very limited offensive possession for both sides so far. A lot of battles, a lot of loose pucks, a lot of space. Chisholm trying to drag it into the net. He couldn't. Had it pickpocketed from behind. Smith over there into the corner. Now brings it back around. Hit up high off the glass. Now brought down. It was Martel who sent it forward. Cummings passes it forward. He tips it just enough, so no icing call. They go for a change and a steal behind the net. It's Murphy. Tried to feed Bergkemper. Could not get him. It was Cooney on the feed, my apologies. Now he's down here, tied up with Zern. They come away now from the corner, nearing the half boards, and they send it back behind the crease. Bergkemper looking for a backwards pass, and he has the recipient from Morris. Another one back, wheeled around to Cooney. Using the back of his stick, now back up top to Young. Feeds McGovern, a wrister, rebound, but saved by Hengen.
I think we're going to start seeing a lot of those shots from the point, from the blue line. Both of these teams are really going to put an emphasis on clogging the slot. And Dom, like you said, these two teams are very evenly matched, so it's going to be difficult to be able to maintain the puck for an extended period of time. So when you bring that puck into the zone, you've got a limited amount of time to get a shot on goal. So expect guys like Jordan Young and Ed McGovern to really take advantage of those opportunities to fire away.
McGovern sends one, but good D by the Beavers and Jeremy Johnson, the right wing. But now Cooney feeds over to the right side. One-timer for Jordan Young, and he scores. Beats him to the glove side. It's 1-0 Devils.
Yeah, and that's just beautiful puck movement right there. And something Jordan Young hasn't done in a while is put one in the back of the net, and that's he's been dealing with an injury for the first part of the season. However, it's great to see him coming up and trying to take that nice assist, put it right in the back of the net. It's that puck movement that we see all the time with Arizona State. That's going to be something that's very challenging to stop for any team. Minot's going to have to continue to keep an eye on those guys from the point, leaking in. That's just a great hockey play right there.
For Young, that actually is his first goal of the season. His first goal with his 7 assists. We'll see who the passing comes from. Cooney, of course, and Burkemper. So just as you would expect. So Young at .339 from Cooney and Burkemper. His first of the year.
And Dom, that first goal is absolutely huge. Usually, like I said earlier, we like to see teams, or other teams, opposing teams like to come in and try to get on the scoreboard first. That gives a lot of momentum coming into the game. Here, ASU really takes away that opportunity for the Beavers. They're already playing in a hole here with 16 minutes left.
For Cooney, that's his 12th assist of the season. Now he's up to 21 points. Burkemper, his 8th and 13, respectively. And icing goes against ASU. Brings it down here, a chance for Minot State to respond. This is the first of 2 between these squads. They will meet up again here tomorrow night at 7:30. Young gets it out. It'll be icing again on the Devils. And now they wave it off. Wow. Good pursuit by ASU. Belanger was down there. Rivard, now it's picked up by Norris. Sent one in, but it's brought away by the Beavers. Try to find Levos on the far side, who's back in his defensive positioning. Norris feeds him. Levos to Hoban. A piece of a stick goes flying by into his left. He sent one in low, and it's a leg save. Far half boards now. It's tried to be a stick battle won by McNevin, but he could not. Pond got hit after he got rid of the puck, excuse me. A nice catch and drop by Norris. Sends it back in, and ASU goes for a new unit. Maley out there trying to get onto Pond. That one's tipped way up ahead. It hit off of Briscoe's stick. Now coming here on the half boards, picked up by Maley. A 2-on-2 chance, now 3. Murphy coming in up the center. Maley couldn't feed him, though. Nice D there by the Beavers and Martell. Just clogged his passing lane and didn't allow anything closer to the net. Now Minot trying to get a response. Moore sends it forward. A shot that time from Briscoe again goes high and wide. Coming around now, it goes to Connor Schmitz. Murphy. He's got a wall of black sweaters to get through. He opts to dump it high off the glass and go for the chase. Murphy sends a shoulder now. That's on to Martell, who thwarted the pass that would have fed Sean himself on the nice breakout chance for ASU. Smith got hit.
And there you see Connor Schmidt right there. Does that all the time.
There's a chance of centering feed there. Now another shot. This one goes wide. Levin was out of position for a moment. It's picked up again by the Beavers. They come up top now. That's Bullifer. Now over to the other point. This one is sticked away before it gets to Levin. Chisholm, the linesman, and Zorn all collide. It's picked up. They have Bowman in front. He shoots. He scores. 2-0 ASU.
Yeah, and that right there, just a mental lapse by Minot right there, letting Kyle Bowen get right in front of the net, completely untouched. That's about as easy as it gets. A shot right there from point blank, right, just like we saw in that last goal from, I believe it's Jordan Young, coming in from the boards right into the middle. And that is something that ASU is really going to have to be creative with and doing tonight. Minot State, that's something they should be able to stop. You can't let the puck leak in front of your goaltender like that. That's difficult for any goalie at any level to stop.
It's the second goal of the season for the Californian, Kyle Bowen. A shot goes in, covered by Levin. He gets an assist from Cummings. So for Cummings, that's now, his 7th assist of the year. Again, Bowen, his 2nd of the year at 6:21 from Cummings, his 7th assist. It's 2-0 ASU now.
You know, I think if you're Kyle Bowen, you got to like playing with Michael Cummings.
Another one comes in quick on Levin, but he's there to rise to the occasion.
As we've seen throughout the season, Cummings is a guy that can really distribute the puck, and having that down on the fourth line really gives you some creative opportunities.
Here we go again. Minot's been winning these draws. Now it comes up top. Bob Pond. A one-timer chance going point to point. They almost had a deflection with Nespor. Now it comes out to neutral ice. It was a nice shot sent in by Peak. This defensive pairing has already seen a lot of ice time of Pond and Peak. You can't miss Pond on the ice. He's the tallest guy out there at 6'4". Jeremy Johnson, a pass over to the left side. Bobbled for a moment by Levin. Nespor had the shot. Now coming in was Peak, but the net became dislodged.
Yeah, that's another one right there. Just letting the puck kind of leak into the middle. You know, when you have a game where you're going to have a bunch of shots coming from the outside, you kind of tend to forget about that slot a little bit, and that's something that Arizona State and Minot are really going to have to keep in the back of their mind and say, hey, we can't let anyone leak in. And think about Arizona State. You got a guy like Connor Schmidt that loves to play scrappy, loves to come in and try to make stuff happen. I mean, if you're Connor Schmidt, this is the kind of game you love, to be able to sneak in a little bit from the outside and try to put something in the back of the net. We've seen it twice already on those ASU goals. So, I don't know, I think a guy like Connor Schmidt and Murphy, those scrappy kind of players, are really going to thrive in a game like this.
Well, after the net came off its borings, looks like the refs are doing some ice work right now inside of the lip of the crease, and looks like they're finally satisfied.
That's the great thing about hockey. You can just take the water bottle, squirt it on the ground, and you got some sticky stuff right there.
And you got a hammer with the puck.
That's right. There you go.
The hard compressed rubber. Another stick on the ice. That could be a theme to watch later on if we could see some penalties for holding the stick or anything like that. Burkhamper and Olsen were tied up for a moment there.
Well, it might not State really not one to commit a lot of penalties. It's those top 2 point scorers. I'll get their names in a second. They really rack up the penalty minutes for this team, and you can't afford to have that against Arizona State.
Over to the captain, Brad Olenek. His dump attempt came up to the ceiling, the low-hanging ceiling here at Oceanside. It's something to adjust to for visiting teams. It's going to be a puck out of play. A couple of changes now.
I was going to say Johnson and Hiroff are the guys. 38 penalty minutes for Logan and 34 for Jeremy Johnson. Those two are the top point scorers. Johnson's got 4 game-winning goals, so you'd like to keep those guys on the ice as much as possible, especially in a game against Arizona State where you want to score as much as possible.
We should also mention a roster note here. You'll see 64 there with no nameplate for Minot State. That is actually Bryce Lipinski. He's wearing 64 on this road trip, not 24. So the guy without a name, it's Bryce Lipinski, so don't be fooled. This is the third-line center.
It doesn't help that he is a brother on the same roster.
Well, they're twins, actually. So
there you go.
Bryce and Linden. Nice keep there by Bulliner. Now it comes back up to him, and he leaves it. Comes all the way back to neutral ice. Zern now. Icing waved off. He was inside the red. Levas to Hoban. And Hoban, he's going to have a lot of extended playing time now with the injuries to this defensive unit, including Blumgren and Mangoni. So the great series that we saw with him last time we were out here at Oceanside, Hoban stepped up and really had a great couple of games, and it's earned him a consistent spot on that third pair. Glove saved by Levin.
Yeah, and a team that has so much depth. I mean, it's hard to be a guy like Troy Hoban and try to squeeze your way into the rotation, into the lines, and he's done that, and he got his opportunity a week ago, and he took full advantage of it, and that's why he's got a spot right now.
Dickerson loses the draw to Murphy, but it's picked up by Minot. A loose puck in front, but ASU gets there first. Maley up ahead to Blessing. He'll dump it in, try to get around Peak. He meets it behind the cage, perfectly timed. Now he has a chance again. He picks up his own puck, gets hit from behind. They still play on. Maley is there. Peak is there. Dickerson is there. Now it's going to be Peak who comes away with it. Feeding his man up the right side, it's Fournier. And he gets crushed by Newmeyer.
Fournier will run it.
Oh, poor pass here. Chance in front. Shot. Scores. Too easy for Brent Nespor. It's 2-1. Minot gets on the board.
And that's twice. There's another goal leaking out in front of the goalie. And when you're playing against a team like Minot State that is coming off of 3 straight wins, they want to come in and they want to take one away from this number 2 team. It's those mental errors that can't be made. If you're ASU, you got to be thankful for those 2 early goals you can kind of let that one slide a little bit, but you cannot continue to do that throughout the rest of this game. And you know Coach Craig Powers is not happy with that one.
It was all set up by a poor pass by Connor Schmidt trying to send it off of the boards behind the cage, and instead it leaked in front of the slot, and it was just prime picking for Brent Nespor. It's an unassisted goal for him, his 8th goal of the season. So again, Nespor, his 8th at 9:03, makes it 2-1. Now Minot trying to work things up again. Martell dragging himself down, tried to feed his man, icing called. It was a risky pass, but it was not a bad effort. Nespor just could not reach out far enough.
No, and I like that. And that is something you have to do. You have to try to get into the middle of the ice right there, trying to get through the neutral zone. Against a team like Arizona State, they're constantly got sticks in your way, bodies in the way in the neutral zone. Sometimes you have to take those risks.
Well, the risk does not pay off. It results in an icing down here for an ASU faceoff. Norris wins it. Belanger feeds Young, who gives it back to McGovern at the point. Now down to the crease. Norris, a centering feed. It skitters back up top to McGovern. Another wrister. Try to go 5-hole, but covered by Hengen.
And right there, you see Eric Rivard absolutely untouched right in front of the goalie. Almost had that tip in. That's like if you're Minot State, you want to get a guy in there and try to body him up. You can't let him in the slot that easy.
Well, he was untouched until the whistle blew. There was a little bit of shoving in there, and you could hear Coach Powers, make sure you get out of there, Ribs.
We can't make up for it after the whistle.
Neither team has committed a penalty thus far, but already 3 goals just halfway through the first. Icing waved off, and interesting call there. They're saying it tipped off of ASU, but they play on. Spinning around his hair off. This top line is still out there. It's picked up over there by Olsen. They send it in down low. Haroff tried getting there. He loses it. McGovern picks it up. Billifer back on D here against Rivard. He'll dump in. Wheels it all the way around. Hengen couldn't keep it, though. It gets over to the far side. Belanger was there, the points leader for these Sun Devils. Nice hit by Levos, the Chandler, Arizona native. Now it leaks over here to Norris. Fighting over there in the right circle, came loose in the slot. Now a hand pass goes against ASU.
And like you said, Dom, we've seen this first line a lot for Minot State. A very creative line that combined for 28 assists on the year, and that's great. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to find where those goals have been. It's a team that really, at least that first line, that really doesn't put the puck in the back of the net too much. A lot of those goals are coming from Jeremy Johnson. He's got 17 on the season, and he has not been in there much.
Well, Jeremy Johnson with the 17 goals, no one else has double-digit goals for the Beavers.
No, but they still have 28 assists, which just goes to show this team focuses on passing the puck and creative goal scoring.
Bergkemper beats Moore. They enter the zone. A saucer puck, stick by Hengen. Cooney got there. Almost like picking like an apple from a tree there. Just hanging out there. But now all the way down here, Briscoe. He gets crunched by Schmidt. Levos does the dirty work and gives it back to Morris. Man falls. It's a 2-on-1 now. Murphy waits for Bergkemper. They tried to feed him there, but good hustle by Lipinski to get all the way back on D, the smallest guy on the ice. Now Briscoe, a huge slap shot, but Neumeyer's stick gets in the way.
And Lipinski with those hustle plays, those are the kind of things you have to do to stop Arizona State. You can't let them walk into the zone like that. That's a smart play right there, and that, with this ASU team, that probably saved a goal.
Bryce Lipinski, his twin brother Lyndon, both from Grand Prairie, Alberta. Bryce stands at just 5'6", and he used every inch of it there, and being 5'6", that gives you a little more speed than most of these big guys.
Yeah, that's right.
And he got all the way back there.
He did. You're absolutely right.
Now some play up against the half boards here. Martell tries to crash down to clean it up. It goes up off the net. We'll have another stoppage. Both teams will go for a new unit. Let's go over the goals, though. The first goal came at 3:39. Jordan Young with his first goal of the season as well. That was assisted by Bergkemper and Cooney. Then ASU got another at the 6:21 mark. That was from Kyle Bowen. A very lucky scenario where he was just right in front of the net. A perfect feed from Cummings as well. Minot State trying to get another goal. The Beavers was credit a turnover in the attacking zone for them by Connor Schmidt, trying to bounce one off the boards behind the cage. Ended up right in the middle of the slot. Nobody around. Brett Nespor, who put it away. That came at the 9:03 mark. Maley will pop one forward. He was just inside the red. They'll play on. Murphy lets that one sail over his head, and a whistle that it went out of play. Just barely, so we'll go to the neutral ice.
Connor Maley, a guy who's really switched around in terms of the line. We've seen him on that first line, here on the second line tonight, in the third line a few times. Be interested to see what his role becomes on this team. Of course, Connor Maley, he's got a lot of time to turn into the kind of player we all think he can become. Trying to find him. There he is right there, the freshman. He's already got 11 points this season, so, you know, obviously a bright future, and you got to love with playing with playmakers like Murphy and Norris.
Now a shot, wrister there from, looked like Cummings, and it's covered by Hengen.
And I guess that just gets back to the depth of this team, the fact that you can put a freshman up on that second line and be able to get 11 points out of him, 8 assists. You know, usually you see a freshman coming in saying, hey, I'm going to try to score goals. I'm going to try to make my name. This is a very smart guy that's going to come in and get those 8 assists. And how can you not want to take advantage of that when you guys got guys like Murphy and Blessing on that same line?
ASU will be guilty of an icing here. There's the whistle at 7:20. But let's look at one of the other things that you got to look out for here is Eric Rivard, who we've already seen doing what he normally does, sit in front of the net, muck things up. He's got a 5-game point streak on the line here tonight and this weekend as well against the Beavers.
Well, if they keep getting chances in front of the net like that, I think he's got a good shot at keeping that streak going.
Gotta love how Kyle Bowen takes his faceoffs. I don't think there's anybody who gets as low as he does in the ACHA. Young pushes it ahead to Cummings, who will shovel it forward. Chisholm in pursuit. Bowen is there as well, but it's Minot coming away with it. Zern working away, and now he'll set the offense.
Bowen really stands in that faceoff circle pretty much as like a catcher.
Troy Oben down there. Belanger with a soft touch up, but it's loose. Picked up and dropped by Belanger again, and he battles and wins it. They're moving here with Norris. Offside call against the Devils. Woo, that was close.
Yeah, not quite sure about that one. Line just had a good view on that, so. Right there, Belanger with those hustle plays. That's a great job, just doing everything you can, keeping your body in front of it. It's like taking a ground ball with the puck out there on that one. For me, it always comes back to baseball, Dom.
I've noticed. Dickerson and Norris get tied up on the draw. Hoban went in on Belanger's gear.
Just went off of Norris right there, too.
Little friendly fire.
It's like pinball.
Now here comes Rivard. Oh, man. Sends a man to the ice. It was Peak. And as he gets up, the puck grazes off the top of his helmet. But Minot comes away with it. Bob Pond goes D to D with Peak. He tries to feed Dickerson, and now it comes free for a moment. Hoban. Underneath Norris' skate. Great vision to find Belanger. Pond got there. Defends the pass well. Peak and Norris tied up. They try to find Rivard on a backwards feed. It comes free again. Icing on the way. Whistles.
And Brett Nespor right there doing what we said Minot State needed to do. Start getting in front of the net. Putting the stick in front of the passes. And right there, Rivard, like you said earlier, loves to muck things up in front of the net. Didn't even give him a chance right there.
Third line out there for ASU of Burkemper, Cooney, and Morris. The top D pair is Newmeyer. Schmidt is out there as well. Burkemper takes the draw. Cooney goes back there to get it, and a whistle.
It's like something fell off of someone's skate. I'm not sure what that. What is that?
I think a piece of the glass just fall. It looks like the linesman over there has something in his hand. Looks like there's something that he's going over now to the penalty box. Either something fell, some sort of debris.
I think it's one of those clamps that holds on the net.
I see what you're saying. I think it's exactly
you got
it.
a bit of a hole over
There's
there.
one
on that
missing,
far
yeah.
side.
Hey, 40th anniversary of Oceanside. It's gonna have, its beauty marks.
That's right. That's an easy fix, though.
So now the refs want to make sure they give this face-off correctly. They think it's in the right circle.
I've never seen that before. That's something new.
I think they're gonna tell them to put it up.
Well, I think you have to. I don't know. Can you play with that gap in the net like that?
It's not safe. That's for certain. Granted, there's no bleachers behind that portion of the net. There's just some standing room, and this is the emergency exit. But, yeah, they're going to actually wait for this to be repaired. The ladder's already out, though.
They're on it. It's almost like they were expecting it.
We're adding to our list of seeing everything.
That's right.
Here in college hockey.
You're absolutely right. We get to see something new every night. I guess this time we're fixing up the boards.
See if we can get a shot of that all the way in there as they repair it up here at Oceanside. Conveniently above the national champions banner on the boards.
Yeah, just try to bring the camera, draw some more attention. I guess that was the full intention on that play right there. Well, for a team that really doesn't score too much, Minot State's got a lot of time here. They've already got a goal. They had kind of a freebie. So what it's really going to be is, yeah, there you go. Give him a hand for that. I mean,
tough crowd.
I probably couldn't have even reached that on the ladder, so I think there needs to be something said just for that.
Well, they're still working on it now. Guys will enjoy a little break, though.
Absolutely.
2 games this weekend after a 3-game set on the East.
Arizona State actually little homestand coming up here. They'll never actually leave the state of Arizona. Of course, they'll go down to Tucson, which is pretty foreign territory. I don't even know if you can consider that Arizona in terms of your home state.
You sure can.
Well, it's just
it's so not even 90 miles.
Well, no, in terms of, I mean, it's not like you're going to show up and expect in, a home crowd.
Well, it's a hostile territory, that's for sure. Back to the action. Cummins around now to Morris. There's a little leak room now for ASU. Burkemper gives it to Cooney. He's got Newmeyer coming in as well. One too many passes. It's a turnover. Minot State trying to work the other way. Olsen, all the way down here is Lyndon Lipinski. He would have been offside if he touched it, so Schmidt gets to set everything up. Young and Bowen have scored for the Devils. Nespor for the Beavers. Picked up by Olenek, the captain for the Beavers. Now they move forward again. Nice passing forward. Here come the Beavers. They move forward, trying to find the high slot. Backhand, through the 5-hole, and it's a goal. Brent McNevin just got one on and threw Levin. We are tied at 2.
And there's one right there. We really haven't seen any goals that have been created by physicality or created by a nice pass. I mean, we had that first goal by Jordan Young, but right there, I mean, that's something Robert Levin's got to be kicking himself over right now. The kind of competitor Robert Levin is, that's not something he likes to do, and kind of absolutely, it absolutely nullifies that 2-goal lead. You're down, tied up 2-2 right now. Totally new hockey game.
So it is given to McNevin, his 8th goal of the year. It's also an assist for Haroff. So we will start again here late in the first. The goal at 15:03. McNevin, his 8th, gets the assist from Haroff, his 14th.
And with that, McNevin becomes the 5th guy on the Minot State Beavers roster with double-digit points.
He's up to 10. 8 goals, 2 assists. Lipinski picks it up behind his own net, moving forward. He's got Moore in the right wing and try to find Briscoe ahead, but he's going to be guilty of an icing. It's the second time we've seen that specific play lead to an icing.
Well, you can see right there, a little bit better defense right there. I'm not quite sure who was on that right there, but that first time we saw that, Briscoe had a wide open lane. The pass was just off mark. Here got a little bit of defense. Looks like ASU's learning from previous experience. That's what you got to do. Hockey's all about those adjustments.
I tell you, something about these Thursday games for the Sun Devils, they have not come out like the same team that they usually are. Norris was waiting in the slot, couldn't get it. Now, Minot moves forward, punched ahead by Briscoe, iced. And again, no changes for Minot. They just can't, they keep this unit out there.
We've seen a whole ton of icing so far in this game. We still got 4 minutes left in this first period, and it's maybe the 5th or 6th time we've had icing called. You can just tell that there's Minot State is really trying to push the puck up. They're just not finishing their passes, and it's as simple as that.
Right circle face-off, Lipinski and Norris, won by Liam, the assistant for ASU. He wins it back. Troy Hoban now. Tries to find Belanger. He picks it up off the boards. Back up top to Troy. Down low. Rivard crashes in, but he lost it off of his tape for a moment. Picked up now by Levos. Coming all the way in. Looked like he was tripped, and here comes the call.
There it is.
It is a tripping call, and it'll go against the Beavers. Our first penalty of the day, and it comes at 19.
I think what you got to do is Arizona State, I've been saying it all game, you got to force the issue. You got to try to get into that slot. You're going to be really limited to the perimeter right there. Absolutely forcing the issue, trying to get inside right in front of the net. And when everyone's on the outside, you just kind of got to reach a stick in there. Don't really have a chance to get a clean hit or a clean poke. You're going to end up with a penalty.
It's 64, Bryce Lipinski, and I don't think the PA announcer got the memo that Lipinski is not wearing 24. So again, it's Lipinski in the box, ASU on the power play, first penalty of the night.
Arizona State's power play. My buddies over there in Intermission, they know all about this. The power play, you know, it's something that Arizona State really needs to work on.
Big one-timer for McGovern, but it deflects off of Minot's equipment. The man who got in the way, it was McNevin. But now ASU gets it back. Norris. Again, McNevin there on defense. McGovern sends another one. This one a softer wrister, but came up high, stayed in play. Up top, Young. Luffs a pass once, but gives it to Belanger. They're wheeling around. Now he decides to crash. Instead, Young tried to feed Norris in the center. Could not get him there, and it's cleared by the Beavers.
And that's something that you really hate to see, especially when one of those four guys loses a stick. You got pretty much a 5-on-3 opportunity right there.
A minute to go here in this power play. Norris all the way in, down the crease, keeps it himself, up top to Newmeyer. His shot, rebound allowed. Drew's there again, another shot, knocked down by Hengen. Down in the corner, it's picked up again. Norris has got Newmeyer, he's got Schmidt waiting over there at the left circle. Comes back to Norris, wrister, where is it? Rivard couldn't get it, and the Beavers push it down the ice.
Yeah, I think that's a good move right there by Liam Norris. Just try to, they're giving you space. Why not move on in and take the shot? That's what he did. That's a nice save right there.
Now they're trying to get the Beavers out of position. Fournier came out. Burkemper just has to pass it forward. Another stick on the ice.
Yeah, you said it earlier, Dom. We'll see if this is a recurring theme. So far it has been, and whenever you see that on a power play, something's up.
Running out of time now. Newmeyer, his pass, shot, whatever you want to call it, Moore got in the way. It goes up to the nets. Just a second left in this power play.
Not exactly sure who lost the stick on it. Whoever it was able to get another one off the bench.
But, I mean, you could say it's holding sticks. You could say it's slashing. Point is, something's going on that it could be something that comes in, you know, into play later in the game.
Yeah, Dom, you just don't see it all that often.
So Minot comes back at full strength. Lipinski was going back to the bench, and suddenly he was fed a pass. And because of the miscommunication, it's an icing against the Beavers.
Yeah, and that right there, that's just going to happen. That's, again, those miscommunication, those head-scratching kind of sort of plays where you're like, hey, he's just coming off the ice. Just got to be aware. Got to make those smart passes.
Schmidt couldn't keep it at the point. He'll have to dump it back in. ASU has to clear out. So Beavers get a little possession here in the final 80 seconds of this very entertaining first period.
We've seen it all.
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet. A nice pass up ahead, but a huge hit. Martell found Johnson. Here's the leading goal scorer for the Beavers, but he gets pickpocketed. Murphy collides with a man. Olenek sends it back in, and Blessing is there to recover. Final minute. Finds Murphy. Good screen. Johnson there on the fence. Drops it off for Schmidt. A good stretch over here to Maley now. He'll dump in, trying to get around Zern. Bounces hard off the boards, but Olenek gets there first.
Chisholm and Maley bumping into each other on that line change.
A steal there and neutralized. Bowen sends it back in. Final ticks here of the first. Oh, no, looks like Hagen is down. He got collided with,
yeah.
And there's the whistle.
I saw Corey Chisholm coming in right there. He fell over.
I think they're going to call him for a trip, even though Zern was defending him. I didn't get a great look at it. I just saw Chisholm come flying across, and then all of a sudden Hagen fell to the ice.
I think Chisholm ran into Hagen, and that's what I'm thinking right there. It's the only reason I can see why Hagen would be down. I don't quite know how you run into him, though, when you've got the puck all the way over in the corner.
So it's the first penalty of the day for ASU. First time that Minot will go on the power play.
And for Minot, these are opportunities you absolutely have to take advantage of. You're not going to get too many of these against Arizona State.
ASU wins a draw and gets the clearance.
This is when you need your big point scorers. You need Johnson to come through with something right here. This is where you need someone to step up.
They move forward. This penalty will carry over. Johnson down in the corner. Up top, Olenek a shot. It goes wide. They got to send one quick. Zorn could not get it off in time. That's the horn. That does it here in the first period. A 2-2 draw, Kyle. This is Thursday games. What is it about these Thursday games?
I don't know, but Tom, it's been interesting. Neither team has really looked like their ranking suggests. We've seen a lot of sticks on the ice. We've seen just not exactly clean and crisp hockey yet, and I think both of these teams definitely going to make some adjustments here in the second period, come up, and because these teams absolutely have the talent and the ability. But so far, these 4 goals we've seen, nothing's been all that impressive. It's sort of been like a lapse on the other end. Not exactly creativity.
Well, let's go over the goal scorers again. ASU got up to a 2-0 lead early on with Jordan Young and Kyle Bowman scoring. 2 guys that don't normally find their way to the stat sheet, but providing here for the Devils.
Well, when you get a puck right in front of the net, anyone at this level is going to score, especially with the depth of Arizona State. Anyone on this team can score, and that's a prime example.
It was a tale of 2 halves here in the first period because ASU gets those 2 goals in the first half, and then in the final 10 minutes, it was all Minot State. The goals for Nespor and McNevin. So the second period coming up, Minot State will get the start on a power play. What do they got to do to take their first lead of this game?
Well, they have to take advantage of the power play. Any chance you get, you have to take advantage of. We see it all the time with Arizona State. They really struggle to take advantage of the power play, and that's where they lose a lot of their goals. It's been interesting to see the combinations have switched up a bit over the season. Coach Greg Powers is trying to find those right lines. I think it's going to be the same case with Minot State right here, going to find the right players and just figure out how to beat this Arizona State team. I think it comes down to hustle, making those hustle plays, being creative. You just have to out-energize this team. It's hard to do. You really can't do it against a team like Arizona State, but we've seen stuff like that happen before. So Minot State just pick up the tempo a little bit, and I think things are going to clean up a little bit. Is it safe to say that it hasn't been exactly clean in that first period?
Well, there's only 1 penalty for each side still, but it's been a very entertaining, a lot of icings. They're really trying to stretch things out. A lot of battles going on for loose pucks. But that'll do it for us up here in the booth. For now, we get ready to send it to the intermission, and then the intermission report. You're not on it. You got the night off. You're up here with me.
That's right.
We're going to have Allison and Troy coming up in a little bit. But we head to the first intermission. Our score tied, Sun Devils 2 and Beavers 2, right here on the Walter Cronkite Sports Network.
Welcome back, and we have a showdown for you guys. The current score is tied up 2-2, Arizona State versus Minot State. I'm Allison Cummings alongside Troy Lynch. And so, Troy, this has definitely been one of the most higher energy games we've seen at Oceanside here this season. What were your overall takeaways in the first period?
Well, I think ASU, they're coming off a loss to Stony Brook last week. They don't want to lose again, so they came out with a lot of energy and a lot of focus, and they tried as hard as they could to put the puck in the back of the net. But Minot State doing a good job capitalizing when Arizona State tried to get a little too fancy. A couple bad passes from Arizona State, and then that led to 2 goals for Minot State.
And we're going to get on those bad passes a little bit later, but for me, it was a tale of 2 stories. You mentioned Arizona State got their second loss to Stony Brook last weekend. They're fired up, losing not necessarily in Arizona State's vocabulary. You have to remember, last year they lost only 2 games the entire time. They lost to Stony Brook 6-3, and they had an advantage 3-0. But let's flip it now.
Okay.
Minot State just had a sweep against Iowa State. So they're off of high energy. So you have one team coming in here with high momentum, the other team really desperate to not lose again. That being said, the special teams on both sides, we got to see them here today. First, I want to talk about the penalty kill for Minot State. They did a fantastic job there against Arizona State. What were your biggest takeaways there?
Well, I think they did a really good job, just kind of keeping ASU's puck control a little bit loose. ASU had a lot of shots on goal, but none of them were exactly what they wanted. They got it close to the net, but obviously it wasn't where they wanted it. They tried to spread a puck around as much as they could, try to get in front of the crease, but ultimately, whenever they lost the puck, Minot State was always there and sent it across the ice.
Exactly. They really did a good job of blocking those passing lanes. I was talking to their head coach before the game started, and he said in the years past, it's always been a very big, very physical team. What happened? They all graduated. Their team this year, he said, they're speedy guys. That's a little new. But that pays off in the penalty kill because you're able to get into those areas and block the puck. But on the flip side, Arizona State's penalty kill has been doing a pretty good job too.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the big players that we saw kind of come back is Jordan Young. Yeah, Jordan Young, he's been doing great. He's been blocking the passing lanes, really being aggressive with his stick, and just, being a real hassle for Minot State Beavers. And, he also put a puck in the back of the net. Great puck control by Arizona State in the beginning, but they kind of drifted away from him at the end. They came out really strong, and then when it kind of started getting towards the end of the first period, that's when Minot State started to pick it up, and then Arizona State kind of to drift off. And one of the reasons that may be is kind of some of the line changes there. Coach Greg Powers, he switched up the lines. He put Eric Rivard on the first line, and then he moved Connor Maley to the second. So we did see some great chemistry there, but right now we don't really know what we're seeing, and maybe ASU can come back and put a few pucks in the back of the net.
And I remember the start of the year, I told you, Jordan Young is the killer on the power play, but he was hurt. You get to see that. It was proved to you now today. But something I want to end the intermission with, this is one of those games where just any kind of bad bounce can really be the determining factor of the game, even if it's losing focus for just 1 second. The score is tied. You saw Minot State. They were pretty much the turnover from Connor Schmidt. He kind of got a little over the pass there. And then the other one went off Ed McGovern. Just an example, and other way around as well. One bad bounce can be the difference of this game. You do not want to go anywhere. The score is currently tied. They're all taking the ice right now, so I guess you've had enough of us for right now.
I guess.
So for Troy Lynch, I'm Allison Cummings. Stay tuned.
Welcome back here, Tempe, Arizona. We just got a scoring change for you here as we begin the second period. The second goal for Minot State that McNevin scored. They give another assist now to Cole Olson. So we're back here. Minot State is on the power play. We're jumping right into the action right now. Bulliford gives it down over here to Haroff, sends it down low to the crease. A chance in front, but a whiff from McNevin. Another chance, and it goes just through. Young with a bit of an enforcement there. McNevin trying to clean things up off of the boards. Olsen is there as well. It's picked up by McNevin up top to Bulliford.
And now we've got a glove on the ice.
Right side, Peak. One-timer for Bulliford, and wow, what a stop by Belanger. He's a forward, and the point scorer, the leading point scorer for the Devils, laying it all out there. One-timer, Bulliford. That one blocked away by Levin. It's brought up top now. Peak, Bulliford. 28 seconds ago on the power play. Chisholm is in there. Peak, another fake one-timer though. Down to the slot, it deflects in. That might have been an own goal against Ed McGovern. Nonetheless, it's now 3-2. Minot has their first lead of the game.
Yeah, and right there, you see an example of just a lack of pressure from Arizona State right there, really back on their heels. And that's the kind of thing that you hate to see, and that's something that's going to happen when you play really reserved and laid back. And what'd you say? It was McGovern right there. I mean, that's just not something you like to see, especially opening up a period. Overall, a good power play for Minot State, but I don't think that's how either team thought that was going to end up.
They officially give it to Bulliford because he's the one who sends it in, of course. It takes Chisholm out of the box a hair early, but right now, Minot threatening again. But ASU comes away, and all of a sudden they have new life under their skates. Schmidt sends a shot, and he scores! Straight through Hagen's glove, and just like that, oh boy, fasten your seatbelts, folks. Here we go.
And Connor Schmidt, I said it earlier, loves to come into that slot, loves to make things happen. Hey, ASU really struggled just to simply pass the puck in that first period. This time, don't even need to pass the puck. Just take it all the way in by yourself. Sometimes it's going to deflect off the glove, and it did right there, right into the back of the net. Just a good play by Connor Schmidt.
So for Schmidt, when all is said and done here, for Schmitty, it'll be his 6th goal of the year. The assist is unassisted, of course, because he brought it all the way in himself. So it came at the 139 mark. Schmidt unassisted, tied things up here. So those two goals are only 22 seconds apart. We just go again here.
Well, at the same time, while it was a great play by Connor Schmidt, kind of got a little lucky right there. Hengen had his glove right on it, just went right off the side. It's those unclean plays that I really expect to clear up eventually, but looks like that's not going to be the case here in the beginning of the second.
Rivard had it stolen from him, backhanded in by Lipinski, but the Beavers will go for a fresh 5. ASU will possess and start working their offense here. Top line of the forwards, Rivard, Belanger, and Norris. Also, you have taking up here Hoban. Brought up to Norris, spins around, sends it in. Minot gets their first, it's Pond. Instead, he goes back to Peak, who got the assist on their 3rd goal of tonight's matchup. Touched ahead there by Dickerson. Now tied up was Smith. Kept in by Dickerson. No, it wasn't. The hand was up, so they had to clear out. Burkemper, he finds Cooney up the middle. Backhands it forward. Trying to win his own race to the puck, and he does. He avoids the check from Pond. Burkemper is with him. Levos up top of the point. Now Morris trying to come in down low. Morris, now it's Levos. Back now to Cooney, but it comes out of the zone. Good D by Pond. They'll dump it in. A quick shift there.
You know, I think if you're both teams right now is an excellent time to get that 4th goal right here. Both goalies probably a little bit shaken up after those 2 goals. Go right at them right here.
Well, both goalies just average barely over 2 goals against per game.
So far, extremely uncharacteristic game by both.
Chipping up along the far half boards, but it comes free for a moment. barely kept in. Now he gives it to Olenek, but he has it sticked away by Blessing. Levos picks up the loose change. Up ahead now. Maley has a little room to skate. Martell trying to range over there. He also had McNevin all over him, but he's still moving forward. Haroff couldn't knock it down. McNevin avoids Maley. Now it's picked up by Olenek, and now here come the Beavers. They lose it just as quickly, though. Young goes back to McGovern. Murphy stops, will reclaim, finds a centering feed, and Maley touches up for Blessing, and now he can't get a shot off. Young, they'll reset. A new line out there for ASU. Chisholm, straight out of the bench, had a hit off of his skate. He's trying to meet it around the back of the net, almost had a chance on it. Martell, great pass up ahead. Here they come. It's Lipinski. Linden gives a fake one-timer now to Johnson. Coming in down on there. Lipinski waiting in front, trying to chew it out of Levin's glove, and coming in, taking exception was Cummings.
Wow, and so far, absolutely some newfound energy by both teams. Usually you'd expect teams to try to, after you let in an own goal, especially for Arizona State, the last thing you want is your team to get down and to play sluggish throughout this period, but they have absolutely not let that happen. Same on Minot State's side, really playing some aggressive, fun hockey right now. Hopefully this keeps up.
Both teams to the goal, just 22 seconds apart. Cummings, a high lofted shot, goes in. Zorn slaps it out of there, and now it's Neumeyer's entrance attempt is knocked down by the Beavers. Bringing it up was Moore, stolen quickly again. Cummings sends a wrister. Chisholm was waiting though. Bowen gets there first, wheels it around. A spinning puck stopped on top of the crease. Now it's going to be taken up by the Beavers. Over around back to the net is Bullifer. Good D again by Belanger.
You like to see this right here. Arizona State not letting up here in their own in the Minot State zone right here.
Nice pass there, dropped off for Jeremy Johnson. 17 goals with some dangles, but coming out of nowhere, Connor Schmidt diving head first to make sure that can't get through.
And those kind of moves right there that show why Jeremy Johnson has 25 points, 17 goals, and is leading this team in both of those categories.
Now a little space. Schmidt picks it up again.
Or in goals, rather.
He is a new man after that goal. Belanger tried to get the feed from Connor, but he couldn't. It'll be delayed penalty here.
It's definitely going to be a trip in front of the net.
Tripping call.
So here you are is Minot State. Right now you've been playing with a lot of aggression, a lot of speed. That's how we expected them to come out. Looks like they found that here in the second period. You got a chance for a 5-on-4. I think if you're the Beavers, this is a prime scoring opportunity.
So it comes at 6:04. Belanger, who does not normally spend a lot of time at all in the box this season.
Well, I think that would only fit considering the way this game has been going so far. I think we can expect something unique out of every line.
Well, Minot scored on their first and only power play attempt tonight. That came from Bellifer. It might have been an own goal, though, too. There he crashes in from the point, trying to get it to McNevin. Now goes up high off the glass. Almost had a breakout chance for Cooney, but Pete keeps it, takes it down low. Young trying to thread all the way through his legs. Now Pete hits the ice. McGovern gets a clearance, but it came off really hot off the board, so Cooney might have had a breakout chance, but he comes down here anyway. Works around. Bellifer now got away with the slash right there. He's still in pursuit of this puck. Ticking off 40 seconds of this power play for the Beavers. Stretch pass to Peak. McGovern and Young back on D, trying to find McNevin, and it's out of the zone again.
And that's the beauty of that Arizona State speed, being able to pressure guys over on the totally opposite side of the ice and then be able to get back and still halt any shooting attempt.
Young gets tied up. Lipinski, though, falls down. He might have fallen on top of the puck, though. Tied up along the boards. Now it comes free. Johnson to Olenek. He gives it back to Johnson, but he lost it off his tape. Here comes another delayed penalty against ASU. And they call the whistle. They pulled the goalie. Looked like a roughing call.
I'm not sure.
Young can't believe it.
Well, still a lot of confusion there. Seemed like neither team had any idea what was going on.
The only one who knew what was going on was
Was
Henkin because he
Henkin.
saw the hand go up and he bolted to the bench.
Good to know someone knows because we don't.
So now a 5-on-3 opportunity with one of the best defensemen off the ice, and it is a roughing call.
Like I said, prime opportunity right here. Have to convert here against a number 2 ranked team.
5-on-3 for another 25 seconds. And then it's just another power play. One-timer, Zorn goes off the right side of the cage. Back up top to Zorn. Down low. They'll work it around. Lipinski, a quick wrister. Denied in the 5-hole, cleared by ASU. 10 seconds left in 5-on-3.
Not sure how I feel about that shot from Lipinski right there. It seemed like that wasn't the best shot he could get right there. Almost like he just settled for that wrist shot. Now you're back to 5-on-4.
All right, so that kills off a 5-on-3. Still another minute 15 to go with this power play. 4 straight minutes of being a man down. Johnson to Olenek. Back over to the far side. Zorn, a nice pass though, but Johnson couldn't hang on. It rolled off at the tape of his stick. Now it pops up high, stays in play, dropped down by the Beavers. Comes free, centered, and cleared by Belanger. He almost sent it on net there. It had to be knocked away by Hengen.
And at the same time, right here, Minot State struggling just to make those simple passes. And that's going to kill any power play. If you can't give yourself an opportunity, then there's no point.
They don't allow the Beavers to split the defense.
At the same time, got to credit the ASU defense.
Olsen up top now to Haroff. Sends it over to the right side, and it stays in play. Belanger's stick has been huge here on defense. 20 seconds to go in the power play. This would be a huge kill for ASU. They would have all the momentum. Bullifer. Great ranging stick. Maley almost poked it ahead to break a breakout. And instead, that's really going to kill off the rest of this power play.
Excellent job right there by Connor Maley. That's just such a simple play, but at the same time, a very heads-up play. Taking a little bit of a risk, reaching out for it, making a nice one.
Haroff came all the way in. The puck found its way through the slot. Another stick on the ice. It belongs to Haroff. But Cooney taking it up. ASU back at full strength. Coming all the way in, but it looked like Martell pickpocketed him. Burkemper picking it up from the left circle. Quick wrister for Morris. Rebound allowed in front. And it was a whiff by Burkemper. He came in there streaking, trying to find himself at the right place at the right time, but he could not. Hoping with a poor touch, but he recovers quickly enough to find Schmidt, who's carrying it all the way in. Look out for Connor Schmidt. He gives it to Morris. Nobody's there at the right dot, and it's picked up by Minot. And now a penalty behind the play. Cooney ended up on the ice, and Pond will head to the box. Morris still trying to make his point clear. And Powers is livid with him.
Yeah, and anytime you see a penalty like that way behind the play, you always have to wonder what's going on right there. Jared Morris clearly not happy with it. Neither was head coach Greg Powers. At 9:47 right here. Now here's the totally opposite situation. If you're Arizona State, I think Minot's last power play almost a little bit standoffish. I think they could have set themselves up for some better opportunities. Right here, you've got Minot State back on their heels. Again, it's taking advantage of that power play that I think is going to be the key to winning this game, as it is most.
Rivard to Belanger. He lost it for a half second. Wheels himself back around. Norris trying to find Rivard. Sticked away there by Hengen and cleared by Minot State.
That's a great job by Minot State. Once again, keeping Rivard away from an easy scoring opportunity. That's what you have to do to kill off these ASU, kill off the penalties, kill off the ASU power play.
Rivard comes in behind the crease. He had a man on him. Now it's ranging over here. Fournier had lost it, and now it's picked up by the Beavers. They're getting ready to pound it down. More off the glass. Another new unit out there for Minot. Rivard. And it's sent back down by the Beavers again. Another back-to-back clearances by Robbie Moore from Portage La Prairie, Manitoba. Murphy. Haven't said his name much tonight. 50 seconds ago in the ASU power play. Newmeyer waits for the puck around there. Blessing gets hit. Murphy there as well. Blessing is tied up with Peak. Comes up top to Newmeyer, one-timer. That one really elevated high. Almost a riser. Murphy back to Burkemper. Up top to Schmidt. Thought about it, now brings it back to Burkemper at the right circle. One-timer, Schmidt, sticked away by Hengen. 25 seconds to go here in the man advantage. Murphy, he's got two bodies on him, and Peak is all over it. Olenek gets the clearance.
Really liking the way that Connor Schmidt is playing right now. He is playing like I want to see both of these teams start to play here in the second period. Really just trying to attack at all costs.
Great pass to Cummings now, but he's got three black jerseys around him. A shot, it came behind and hit the iron. Saved by Hengen right as the penalty expires.
Yeah, and Cummings, just that little desperation end of power play shot right there. Overall, I don't think Greg Powers is too excited about that power play. Twice now, I guess you could say 3 times, we had the 5-on-3 down on the other end. Neither team wanting to take advantage of the power play here. I think both teams a little bit lax in their power plays. Need to take those opportunities to play aggressive. You've got the man up.
Chisholm now, both teams at full strength. He lost it. Now it's Zorn up high. Huge hit by Cummings. Comes now behind the cage now. Lipinski in pursuit. Johnson is there as well. Now comes back to the dot. A beautiful backhanded no-look pass by Chisholm. He's got Cummings now. Bowen is there too. Tries to send it through a centering feed. Delayed penalty here coming against Minot. Levin is out, so they get the 6-man on the ice in time. Nesport touches up, though. They can't get anything with the extra guy.
Let's see that right there. Cummings facing the complete opposite direction. It's those plays where the guy just doesn't seem to know what's going on. You got one guy out of sync with the rest of the line, and that ruins an opportunity like that right there. Especially in a game where we saw a lot of scoring in that first period. Goals have been hard to come by. These last few minutes, even with the power play.
Well, too many men is a call. I don't remember the last time I heard that called.
Well, it's what I'm telling you. There's just been so many unique occurrences in this game. Both teams just seem to be off. I think it's the team that is able to find themselves again is the one that's really going to be able to crush the other team if that kind of play keeps up.
So only 39 seconds of full strength play before we go right back to some special teams. But ASU hasn't gotten into the zone yet. Now it does, Norris, but he is swarmed by a few Beavers. McGovern here on the near bench. All the way around, but Hengen slows it down with his stick. Belanger had a hit off escape, and now he picks up the loose puck. Wrist shot goes high. Nearly hit the ceiling. Comes around. Norris let it go. Rivard couldn't get it. Belanger gives it back to Rivard.
ASU needs to get someone in front of the net right here. Play it back to Jordan Young.
There's a one-timer McGovern, but he nearly broke his stick.
I think here's where you have to look for one of those tip opportunities.
Norris looks for the crossing, centering feed. Rivard couldn't knock it down, but it's kept in by Young. Back around. Norris, 57 seconds to go here. Rivard hits the ice. He's asking for a tripping call. Didn't get it, and it's pounded down by the Beavers.
Just the wrong angle for the ref right there. But that whole possession, not one guy in front of the net for ASU. And we saw those opportunities. We saw it all in the first period. One goal and almost another for Eric Rivard. Someone needs to get into that crease and try to muck things up.
Newmeyer trying to find Murphy. 30 seconds to go. Schmidt gets it at the point. Finds Blessing down low. They're all tied up. Guys are falling all over the ice. Blessing picks it up. Back to Schmidt up top. Working towards the slot. A low one hits off the back of Burkemper and kept in by Schmidt. 13 seconds left in the power play.
No one in front.
Over to the right half boards. Murphy finds a man streaking in. It was Newmeyer. Kick save by Hengen. And now a tripping call will go against ASU.
Another move right there by Newmeyer. Exactly what we saw with Jordan Young in that first period. The defenseman leaking into towards the slot. Almost another opportunity right there. But at the same time, that whole shift, I believe it was Michael Cummings, had his back turned to the net. That's a good thing when you're right in front of the goaltender. Here, you're all the way out towards the blue line, towards your teammates. That's not helping anyone. Someone needs to get in front. Any goalie at this level, especially someone like Hagen, who's got that 92% save percentage, he's 6-4, only gives up 2.7 goals, but at the same time, what are those stats meaning in this game? You have to try to muck things up as much as you can.
How is that not ice? It's 4-on-4. It was 4-on-4 when it was sent down. Holy moly. All right, we play on here. Minot is on the power play, and ASU gets the clearance right off the bat. It's a slashing call against Burkemper, like we had talked about earlier. Right at the end of the first, we could start seeing some slashings. And there we finally get one, but it was a borderline one. Young, Chisholm, Johnson all tied up down there. Nespor, too. Brought away here. Kyle Bowen trying to chase it down along the half boards. He's got a little bit of room. Avoids one man, and it comes all the way in on Hangen, who will just stick it away. It's already ticked off 50 seconds of the power play. You know, we scored twice 2 minutes into this period, not even. And since then, things have really slowed down, and now another penalty. It'll be a high stick call going against ASU. That one was clear as day.
And it's just hard to find something else to say than that this is just absolutely so uncharacteristic of both of these teams. This is by no means what I expected to see when I walked into Oceanside tonight. And it's been very interesting to see how neither team has really made it. And we're going to have another penalty.
Holy moly. So,
and someone's down in the corner over here. That was went head first into the boards.
Levos is trying to tend. It looks like it might be Newmeyer, and it is.
Unbelievable.
So it was 5-on-3 for 6 seconds. Now it's going to be 4-on-3 for 56 seconds. Then there will be roughly 58 seconds of 4-on-4, and then it'll be another minute or so, or just under. Oh, there's too many lights up on there.
I was going to say, I don't know how you're breaking that down.
Well, here we go. It's 4-on-3 for another 48 seconds. Technically, ASU is at the man disadvantage, so they're allowed to clear it out and pound it down the ice. Peak. He's got Bullifer, and he gives it to him here at the left point. Off the back of his stick. Now he bluffs. The guy's diving all over. Murphy sacrifices it, picks it up, and gets it out of the zone.
That's a Sean Murphy-esque play right there.
26 seconds left in the 4-on-3. And then it'll be 4-on-4. And then just for 6 seconds, there'll be an ASU power play. That's what I was trying to say. Bullifer down to the left side. Hair off. Coming in slowly, giving him space. Now Bullifer, another one. Knocked down by Young. Bullifer running out of time here with the 4-on-3. They give it down low to Haroff. They thought about it. Comes up high, and Lavinia allowed a rebound. But now it's 4-on-4 hockey for a little bit. Up top, Peak. Back over to the right side now. Coming in here is Martell. Stolen by Burkemper. He gets it out of the zone. Remember, no, you can call icing now with teams at even strength for how much it means, and icing waved off at the last moment. Nesmar comes in and hits Young anyway. McGovern, a soft touch off the half boards. Cooney lost it for a moment, picks it back up, avoids one. Working in from the left side, he's a right-handed shooter, and now it's picked up by Bob Pond. 16 seconds ago in 4-on-4. Drew is there, and there's the icing call. A very late one, but Johnson tried to give a check in the Newmeyer.
And it's just each team, like we said at the end of the first period, just trying to push the puck up the ice. It just seems like each team is settling for these long, ugly, just gross passes, for lack of a better term, because no one can get anything across the neutral zone just with quick, short passes. It's always one guy bringing it all the way through.
Now here Norris. Over to the left side. Newmeyer, wrist shot. What a save by Riley Hengen. Wow. He was fooled, but gets it on the glove side. That was bound for the twine. What a save. You might see that on SportsCenter tonight.
You very well might, and that's good to see, considering the game we've seen so far. It's nice to see a nice, just cool hockey play like that. What a save. And Newmeyer, just his expression says it all. Saying, are you kidding me?
What a save by the 6-foot goalie from Estevan, Saskatchewan. Rivard, a little bit of a power play here. It didn't get all the way into Hagen, so we're finally back at full strength. Schmidt sends one down low, hits off the left side of the iron. Another chance for ASU, trying to cram it in from an odd angle, but Hagen is there.
It's good, though. Belanger right in front of the net. Someone was there, and it's Connor Schmidt is just dishing out passes and shots left and right here. He's been the primary playmaker so far for the Devils. Interesting to see that coming from a defenseman.
He's offensive-minded. He's not afraid to show it. Belanger backhands one off the glass. Behind the net, Rivard. Norris there for ASU. Also Lipinski. Now a chance. It slides through the lip. Schmidt with a shot just a bit high. Newmeyer keeps it in at the left point. Down low, down below the crease. Rivard finds Belanger. A little room. And Stivs gives it to Schmidt now, but he has to circle around. Good defense by the Beavers. Norris, a great pass to Belanger. Rivard is there. Try to find Newmeyer across ice. Now comes back around. Remember, both teams are at full strength right now. Rivard tries to find a man. It's Belanger streaking in, but he could not get it. Newmeyer to Schmidt. A little wrister, almost hit off of Rivard's skates, but it goes off to the right side. Schmidt, this one goes wide off the very outside of Hengen's glove. Norris working, gives it for Blessing. No, he loses it. Lipinski tries getting out of the zone and gives it to his twin brother. Lipinski, he loses it, and Newmeyer picks it up. Blessing tied up. Down there is Bellifer. They send one in, popped up high. Chance now for ASU. Murphy to Schmidt from the dot. Kick save. Rebound allowed. Maley is there, but jumped on by Hengen.
And Hengen just laying face first in the ice. Just like, finally. ASU, like you said, everything was 5-on-5, but that pretty much looked like a Devil power play right there. Just the movement, the passing, that was a nice shift for the Sun Devils and something we haven't seen too much of in this game.
Maley gets a check on Olenek. Peak gets hit, picked up by Murph again. Maley had it stolen. Here come the Beavers finally. Over there on the far side, it's Haroff. Try to find Peak coming in, and also there, it looks like that's Olsen. Murphy and now Young tied up with him in the corner, joining down there with them. Looks like it's Moore. Now they find a centering feed to Peak, and it didn't get all the way to him. There's the horn to end the second period. You know, we had fireworks early on there, but things really evened out with all those penalties and special team shifts. What was that second period in words, Kyle?
I don't know if you can put that period in words. It's been hard to describe a lot of what we've seen right now, but what we really saw at the end of this period is we saw movement, and we saw speed, and we saw a lot of things we haven't seen out of this game. We saw crisp passing, we saw skating full of agility and finesse, and that's what both of these teams need to pick back up and keep going throughout the rest of the game.
The special teams, too, was the penalty kills for both teams were really firing on all cylinders, and then you have to admire the goalie play, especially by Hengen. He was getting
that,
all
like
over.
You said, I would not be surprised to see that one on SportsCenter. That was a heck of a play.
So now we headed to the third period, the final 20 minutes of regulation tied 3-3. We focused on Minot State before the last break. So what does ASU have to do to reclaim this lead that they had the dominance in the first part of the first period?
Dom, what I really liked at the end of this second period was Connor Schmidt and Eric Rivard out at the same time. Rivard, like you said, a guy that likes to muck things up in the front. Connor Schmidt making plays as a defender, firing stuff in from the point, bringing stuff in himself. I think the combination of those two playmakers, that can really lead to some goal scoring. We need to see increased skating and just increased control by Arizona State, something we haven't seen a lot of in this entire game. Everything has kind of been all over the place. Teams really need to limit the penalties. And again, taking advantage of the power play. We saw that whatever
it was,
that
4 on
was
3
out
to
there.
4 on 4 to 5 on 4 to 5 on 5.
Exactly. We saw that neither team could take advantage, and those are the kind of chances that if you're in a 3-3 game like you are right now, those are the opportunities to take advantage, especially if you're Minot State playing a team like ASU. who just has the skating ability to almost look like they're on a power play even when it's 5-on-5.
Well, that's going to do it for us up here in the booth. 3-3, each team with another goal there in this second period. It's sure shaping up to be one heck of a third period after this break. So we send it over to the intermission with my color commentator Kyle Kercheval. I'm Dominic Catronio. Stay tuned for Troy Lynch and Allison Cummings in a little bit, but enjoy your intermission. Our score, Minot State Beavers 3, Arizona State Sun Devils 3. You're watching ASU D1 Hockey right here on the Walter Cronkite Sports Network.
Do not blink, ladies and gentlemen, or you might miss something with the craziness that has happened during that period. I'm Allison Cummings alongside Troy Lynch, and this game is tied up again. 3-3, both goals scored right off of the bat. First of all, Minot State started that period on the power play. They capitalized scoring a goal, and then shortly thereafter, Connor Schmidt responded with the goal. As we saw, he was very happy about that. But Troy, what did Minot do right?
Well, what they did right was they just capitalized on ASU really early. I mean, if you start on the power play, that's good no matter what. And you kind of caught ASU sleeping a little bit at the beginning. You know, you don't really expect Minot State to come out with as much fire as they did there. So when they kind of got caught off guard and like, oh no, now we're down a point, then Connor Schmidt's like, okay, I'll do this, you know. And then he stepped up, and a lot of power play opportunities for both teams, but they're doing a good job locking down the defense on the power play.
Yes, it was the lucky number 7 who stepped up. He's had 53 points on the season so far. He's definitely been doing pretty well. But speaking of lucky number 7, one thing that's pretty safe to say are both teams have been pretty lucky that period. 12 minutes of penalties, and, well, no goals were scored. How about that chaos?
It's really hard to say. I mean, the score, what it is right now, it should be a lot higher with the amount of penalty minutes that both teams have been putting up. It's kind of crazy because the two top scorers on Minot State, they have the most penalty minutes on their team, but they haven't gotten a penalty tonight, so they're staying on the ice, and that's how they're scoring, and that's how they're keeping the game tight. ASU, on the other hand, you know, a lot of, you know, kind of stupid mistakes on their part, and, you know, that kind of cost them at the beginning of the second period as Minot State capitalized.
Well, I don't think some of the players were too happy about some of the calls that happened during that period.
Neither was Coach Greg Powers.
No, not very much at all. But one thing that you don't want to do is if you're on the power play, you don't want to go to the box. And if you're not on the penalty kill, you don't want to take dumb penalties like the Minot State one for having too many men on the ice, for example. Because both of these teams, they can skate together for 60 minutes. They're both very skilled. Minot is ranked as the number 12 seed. Okay, fine. But I think it's pretty safe to say any teams in the top 12 in the ACHA right now, they're very talented teams. That one small mistake, that one small error can be the big difference. And again, it was luck that, quite frankly, no one scored that period. But I want to talk about goaltending now, especially on the Minot State side. We saw a pretty awesome save. Your reaction?
Goodness. Yeah, my reaction, I was like, that was pretty much it. That was absolutely amazing. Great scoring opportunity for ASU, and I thought for sure it was going to be a goal. And he just sticks out his glove, makes it, grabs it at the very tip, and my goodness gracious, that was an amazing save. And the score should be 4-3 ASU right now, but great goaltending by Minot State.
The first thing I'm going to do when I go home, by the way, and watch the archive video is rewind back to that part and screenshot his face in that thing. But the Sun Devils are coming out on the ice. Minot coming back on the ice. Really quickly, we're going to have a little bet board. Troy versus me. We're going to predict the end of the game for you. You're going first.
All right, well, I think the winner of this game is going to be the team who comes out with the most energy, but also plays the most smart. And I think ASU has the depth, even though they have some injuries with some players. I think they do have the depth to outsmart Minot State and now energize them with the amount of talent. So I think they're going to come out with a win 4-3.
That's a bold prediction. I think they both have about equal energy right now. I think it's going to come down to who makes the first mistake, but I'm going to predict overtime. And you said Arizona State. I'm not so sure who I want to pick, but I'm just going to say Minot because you said Arizona State.
Right.
So we'll see who wins, but we're going to wrap it up for right now. For Troy Lynch, I'm Allison Cummings. Stay tuned.
Welcome back into Tempe, Arizona. Here we go again. Third period, all tied at 3. Threes are wild right now on the scoreboard. Kyle, it's It's been a wild, wild game so far here. ASU beat Minot 11-8 in shots in that last period. Can they do it again and take the lead here in the third?
I think they can, but I think it is still up in the air for either team right now. Neither team has proven that they have slowed things down, figured out things defensively or offensively, as a matter of fact. What team comes away with that momentum, they're going to shift the game.
Well, here we go now. It's a good chance in front there, and now a hand pass against the Beavers will bring this one out of the offensive zone. Or is it against the Devils? Excuse me. Didn't expect that. So here just 19 seconds into the game, Lipinski takes it off the draw. Now it comes around here on the corner. Nespor's in there, but it looks like going to be taken away with Cooney. Morris gives it back down low to Newmar before he gets smashed. Here we go. Cooney just chips it ahead forward, and it's hand over there by Bellifer, but it's picked up by Morris. Backhands it in. Looks like most of ASU is content with the change on this first shift. Nespor avoids one man. Sends it ahead. Johnson coming around. Lipinski waiting for it as well, but Jeremy gets there first, but Morris with a hit. McGovern, with a good crunch. Now it's going to be Young. Up ahead to Belanger. Rivard across center ice. He sticked on it, but good defense by Bob Pond. Couldn't get him any possession. Johnson hits the ice again. ASU has done a really good job of really making sure he's in check tonight.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. And at the same time, Minot is doing a great job in the neutral zone. There, like we've said all game, there's been nothing getting through the neutral zone except for one guy. There's any kind of pass, any kind of chip, nothing is ending up on the stick of anyone, and everything is just all over the place. Like we've been saying, the team that gets that under control, and the team that can keep the
one-timer for Young. That one goes wide.
They can keep the puck on the stick, stay under control. They're going to come out on top.
Well, here comes Minot. It's Pond. Up ahead to Peak. Both defensemen playing up here. Peak comes in to chase it down on his own pass, hard off of the boards. Haroff was there. Comes up here. This is a little switch up with the lines. Johnson came off the ice. There's still the top line out there. Over here, one-timer for Olsen. Just off of the leg pad for Levin, but it's picked up again, this time by Olenek. Norris in there, Olsen in there, McGovern in there. Comes back around. Levin has to switch sides. The puck changed possession quickly. Haroff, great spin move there. Comes back around to the far side. Handled over there by McNevin. And he loses the puck. Picked up now by Norris. Sent up ahead by Belanger. Now to Rivard. A little bit of room to skate. He's got to beat Martella. Now Norris just goes high and wide. He was trying to go for that upper right corner. It was the right play, but just a little too lofted. Now it's Norris again. Up along the backboards. Now Olenek comes away with it. Belanger stays in pursuit of him, but it allows a change for Minot. They get all 5 guys to the bench and 5 new ones out there.
Minot has really done everything they can to get the right combinations out there on that last possession. They were still moving guys in and out even when they were down here trying to put something in the back of the net.
Hoban picks up the puck. A backhanded pass up ahead off the glass. Zorn gets hit off of the puck by Murphy, who's a much smaller body. What a play by Sean Murphy. Kept in by McGovern, by Hoban. Now Levos sends a wrister, knocked down by Moore. Stent back around now over to the right side. Briscoe, he lost it. Moore waiting at the half boards. Levos couldn't keep up. A Blessing comes away. But how about Sean Murphy taking on a much bigger body than him and Nick Zern?
Hey, doing anything you can to spark some energy into your team right now. Murphy's one of those guys that loves the hustle plays. He was a little quiet in that first 2/3 of the game, but maybe this is when he's going to break out a little bit. Maybe he can break out offensively.
Blessing and Maley coming in. They opt for a dump, and they will change. But the tail of the tape on that matchup between Zern and Murphy. Zern, 6'3". Murphy, 5'8". And Murphy won it.
It's a big difference. That is pure hustle right there.
Now Chisholm, Cummings. Peak has had a fantastic game as a defenseman for the Beavers. He's taken on everybody that has come in his little bubble.
That's a good way to make yourself known out there on the ice. That makes people think twice when they come to challenge you.
Cummings working around now into the corner up top. Schmidt bluffed for a moment at the point. Now a bouncing puck goes wide. Looked like it was blockered away. Now Dickerson has it. A high rotating puck comes all the way down. Icing waved off. Levin didn't cover it up because it was waved off. Bergkemper back to Schmidt. He's got a lot of room. Goes over to Cooney, but his pass is intercepted by Olenek. Now breakout chance here. They go back and forth. Nespor's shot never really got it off. Now comes free here, a centering feed, trying to get it from below the crease. Cooney gets beat. Nespor again. He already has a goal tonight. One-timer Johnson, saved by Levin. Comes loose again. Lipinski trying to navigate around Schmidt. They send one in on goal, but it comes free. Icing all the way against ASU. There it is.
You know, on that last shot, I actually think someone was in front of the net blocking that one. Never think that shot reached Levin. Down on the other end over here, Connor Schmidt with that turnover. We see Connor Schmidt with that offensive-minded play that he always has. Like you said, he's called it perfectly. He had a lot of ice in front of him. Opted to kind of make a little lazy pass. And, you know, if you have that ice space in front of you, especially with the way this game has been going,
a bouncing puck in front. I agree with you there. He had a little bit of room, and he can skate well. Haroff on the half boards. Paused for a moment and brings it down now. Here comes the Beavers. It's behind the net. Levin didn't know where it was for a moment. Martell gives over to the right side. Loose in front, and he'll cover with his legs. Knees together and hold on for dear life. Uh-oh, here we go. Schmidt just wants to give a shove. Wants to make his point made. He wants to be the last one to talk.
As he always is. Oh, great save right there by Robert Levin. It's that same thing that we've been saying Arizona State needs to start doing. Getting guys in front of the net and trying to make it difficult for the goaltender. Like you said, Levin, no idea where the puck was on that first shot. And on the rebound, almost gave one up.
Down here on the half boards, Rivard trying to fish it out of there, and he does. A high puck caught and dropped by Bellifer, and he wins it getting around Belanger. Takes it up himself now. Loses Norris's stick. He comes all the way back to the boards. Nespor, he gets pushed in by Hoban. Up ahead. Down here, Johnson, backhanded ahead. Off the far in the scorer's table area. Norris lost it. Belanger, now Rivard. Back to Belanger. He's got two men to beat. Goes for the left side. Dekes one man, but he has it picked. Great play by Pond, staying with the puck. Now they give it to Johnson. They give it over to Lipinski now. Charging in. It's Linden. Couldn't get around Young, though. He stood tall. McGovern gives it to Cooney. Back to Norris. And again, the ice is really getting stretched out right now. Norris taking his time with it. From the top of the circle, spinning around, using his vision. A centering feed, but Levas now playing up from the blue line. Norris trying to get the angle around. Now it's Blessing. His wrister was wide anyway. It hit off of, it looked like Olsen's stick, and Rivard hits the ice. Quick wrister for Blessing. Pad save by Hengen. Hoban sends it in low, and it's another save.
Once again, Rivard getting a stick on it. Look at that hustle.
Rivard gets hit from his knees, a pass to Blessing. Guys all over. Peak spinning around and twirling, and he gets it out. Rivard and Peak. You can hear the bench right now. They're really excited about the line that just came off. They're trying to continue the momentum. Comes free to Schmidt. It goes off high of Hagen and went over him, and now a whistle. Bob Pond will go to the penalty box. I missed the call, though.
No, I did too.
We'll wait it, but nonetheless, ASU going on a power play. He's guilty of a rough.
Like we said, we didn't expect a lot of penalties out of this team coming into this game, or at least not from those who have been put in the sin bin. But the increase of penalties here just goes to show for this pretty sloppy game so far up to this point.
Here we go. ASU is 0 for on the power play. A wrister from Schmidt covered and saved.
But wait, Connor Schmidt's got to have at least 6 or 7 shots on goal in this game.
Sure feels like it. So a minute 51. It's a roughing call against Pond as we anticipated. Now Schmidt has got Newmeyer with him. Working around, and that one sticked away before it got close enough to hang in. He was ready, though. He read it well. There was a line of bodies in front of him. Here the puck is cleared out.
You mentioned it a little bit earlier. There's saucer passes and the expansion of the ice out there. You can see both teams are really just trying to expedite the fact that they've got a lot of speed on this team, expedite the fact that this other team is playing back.
Burkemper tried to get a centering feed, but Bullifer knocked it away. Now they get tied up in the corner. Zern is there. Lipinski picks it up. Over to the left side now. McNevin trying to get a shorthanded chance here. McNevin all the way in. His wrister stayed wide. Levin never touched it. Minute to go here in the power play for ASU. There hasn't been a goal scored in about 30 minutes.
Pretty hard to believe in a 6-goal game.
Belanger all the way in himself. Now below the crease, centering feed, a chance in front for Rivard, but he never got his stick on it. He was always inside of another pair of arms for the Beavers. 34 seconds to go.
Once again, we see just a lone man coming off of a long pass, a long lead pass, and bringing it into the zone. That's really what's working right now for both of these teams. Got to put a body on him.
Huge clearance there for Minot. Now 16 seconds. One last push. Young, Norris, Belanger, Rivard, and McGovern on the ice right now. Norris got swarmed by 3 guys, and he coughs it up. That's going to do it for this power play. Pond is getting ready to come back out.
And you know ASU would have loved to show some life on that power play right there. Pretty anticlimactic, and really there was nothing leading up to it.
Wow, how is that an icing? I do not know how that's an icing call.
Yeah, and Coach Greg Powers, irate.
Well, we're halfway through the third here. Minot successfully kills off the first penalty of this final 20. So both teams at full strength right now. Guys collide, and here's a whistle already. Just like that, a tripping call. Here we go again to the special teams.
Well, in the special teams, on the penalty kill side, you can be pretty excited about that for both teams. However, on that other side, I mean, it has just been awful. Neither team has been able to take advantage of the chances that they've been given here, especially when you can't find anything on 5-on-5. You really have to take advantage of the man-down opportunity, and neither team has done that. Someone has got to come through.
Well, here we go again. Another power play. It's Dylan Smith in there. 2 minutes for tripping. Burkemper. One-timer for Schmidt, and it was sticked. Looked like in front by Blessing. Newmeyer working in. His one comes up high. It climbs up and goes off of Hengen's gear. Down on the far half boards. Across now to Newmeyer. Back and forth with Murphy. Newmeyer ranging his way up to the high slot. Now over to the right side. Schmidt slowly crashing his way down. Sends a slapper. Kick save by Hengen. Murphy down low to Blessing. Back to Murph. He gets bumped from behind from Peak. Up top to Newmeyer. Schmidt's asking for it. He gets it. The USHL alum. Back to Schmidt from Burkemper. Gives it to Chris. Slowly getting in, and it got deflected before it got into Hengen. It looked like it hit off of Blessing's right calf. Now Burkemper picks it up. A little space in front of the crease. And a body flies in front. Sacrifice. Looks like it was Bellifer, who's grimacing right now to make sure that Burkemper could not get all the way in there.
Boy, oh boy, Connor Schmidt just continues to pour stuff in from the point in this game. And it's been, and specifically in this last shift, again, no one's really in front of the net for the Devils. It's an easy stop for any kind of goalie when it's just a long shot from the outside.
43 seconds and counting left in the power play. Good passing here for the Devils, really trying to stretch out the Beavers. They couldn't get Rivard's deflection. Belanger will try to reset things. Young keeps it at the left point, deking his way around, a lot of hesitation. Belanger, a bluffed one-timer. Now he gets it again. Where's the puck? It goes behind the cage. Rivard lost it, and it's pounded down by the Beavers.
I like this, though. Jordan Young and Eric Rivard, guy who loves to shoot it from the top. Rivard, a guy who loves to tip it around. It's going to set up a lot of opportunities.
Belanger tried to find Norris, but a Beavers stick got in the way. Puck flies out of play.
You know, Dom, I think it's just going to be a case of which team can find the right shifts, the right lines here, the right combinations. We've seen so many different attempts at trying to put something in the back. Minot, specifically earlier in this period, was moving guys all over. They've pretty much stuck with the same crew here. ASU really moving things around.
McGovern to the right side. He had it stolen. Final seconds of the power play, and now Minot's at full strength. Lipinski coming in, and he gets picked. Cooney comes over to pick it up. Linden got beat from behind, and now Cooney's in a little pain as he came back up. Morris couldn't get it. Now comes back. Bergkemper going for the 5-0, loose in front, covered by Hangen.
And that's just great defense by Minot right there, not letting that shot get off with any power. Just a dud little rolling puck, which for a goaltender, good and bad. Good, it's an easy one to stop. Bad, it's just kind of floating around out there. Pretty easy for someone to get a stick on it and see a repeat of some of the goals we saw in the first period. But right now, either team, we talk a lot about their speed. I think now's a great time for both teams to try to, like we said earlier, expand the ice and try to make things happen with their skates.
Bergkemper got away with a big holding call there. It's been 2 penalties this third against the Beavers. ASU trying to keep the pressure on. Both teams at full strength right now, and icing is waved off because a tip. Levas back around. It's Morris. A soft touch up ahead to Cooney, just out of his reach, but falls into Bergkemper's lap for a moment. Now all the way up, Briscoe reached for it. Icing waved off. Coming in here behind the boards. Huge collision with Levas. Hoban picks it up. Morris couldn't hang on. Now it's Zern. Lost by him. Morris just keeps going through like a bulldozer all the way through now. Chisholm in the corner trying to get his puck back. He cannot. It's Minot coming away with it. Haroff avoids one man. It's right underneath his skate. Try to work his way back to it. Instead, they'll dump in.
Wow, and the aggression is really picked up here in this last minute.
Nearly a high stick against Olsen. Now they get it out of the zone. Icing will be against ASU.
So if you're Arizona State right here, with the increase in the tempo, you know you've got the talent out there, you've got the speed, you've got the creativity to match that hustle and that aggressive play. You see it all the time with teams coming in here to Oceanside. Try to expand the ice a little bit. Then again, it's pretty difficult when the other team is constantly pushing you into the boards.
Lipinski sends it down to Nespor. Newmeyer backhands it. Back over here to Morris. Comes up high, hits the rafters, and back down. Out of play. We'll go to the neutral zone face-off.
Right idea, though. I like those. I like those long passes. I like those saucer passes, completely avoiding the neutral zone. I think that's the way to go in a game where that has been, who knows what's happened there throughout this whole game. There has been zero control near the red line.
Up top in the point, Montel. Down to Johnson. Stays up high, off of the crease, and now it's staying in. Cooney picks it up. Hits off of McGovern's skate. Now Johnson weaving in. Didn't get a shot off, though. Now, here comes ASU. Finding Murphy. Hits off his left skate. He keeps it in for himself. Dumps it in down. Maley decides to handcuff himself with Montel before hitting him into the boards. And Blessing came all the way in on Johnson, who's still trying to fight for that puck, and they'll dump it out. Levas, far side to Murph. Murphing, he got tripped, and there's the call.
Wow. I mean, to both teams, there's so many power play opportunities. I mean, especially for a guy like head coach Greg Powers, for ASU, who's just been so frustrated over the lack of production from his special teams. This has just got to be so frustrating. You really want someone to come through here, try to break this tie.
They're 0 for 6 right now.
I mean, you just can't have those kind of numbers against another top 20 ranked team, top 15, I think. Minot sitting at 12.
Young down here to Belanger. Surveying what he's got. Now gives it over to the far side. Lost for a moment. McGovern, that moment of hesitation where it bounced off his tape, allowed a poor shot. Young goes all the way down to Norris from behind the crease. Still trying to set up this offense, but good penalty kill D right now. McGovern back to Norris. Goes across, try to find Young, but Olsen got in the way. Belanger wheels it back down low. Olsen touched up. One-timer, McGovern, rebound allowed and covered by Hengen.
I think that's the right idea for ASU. Instead of trying to push it, you've been having a lot of success with guys just coming in from the opposite side, defensemen leaking in. That's a great scoring opportunity. At the same time, though, you want to see them take advantage of that open ice in front of them. Use that space as an area to mix up the defense, bring them out of their formation.
A minute 08 left here in the power play. It's the third one of the third period, and they get it out of the zone. All the way back. Drew Newmeyer. Up ahead, chipped by Burkemper. Pond got there first, but waiting for it around the boards was Cooney. Schmidt drops it off Burkemper, down low to Cooney. Burkemper coming in slowly. One-timer for Schmidt, a bouncing puck. It came free for a moment. Back to Connor. One-timer Burkemper, a poor shot there. Olenek got in the way of that one. Murphy gave it back up to Burkemper. Now Sean has it in his lap. He gets hit from behind, and it goes up off the netting. So they'll just make sure that Minot can't get a change here with 20 seconds to go in this power play. And only now we're under 4 minutes. Now it's starting to get crunch time to avoid overtime because anything can happen in overtime.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got to take advantage of these opportunities. I keep saying it, but something has to give. You got to find a way.
McGovern, a quick shot. Rivard is there, but his one goes wide. Young, a low puck. Chance in front for Rivard, but he was beat. And now a whistle here. An interference call. Will it be against ASU? It will. It'll be against Rivard.
Well, he's usually the one in front of the net.
He wants to know what he did.
I think he's saying he got pushed into the keeper. Or I guess that's a soccer term.
Point is they block the net.
Yeah, same thing.
Well, so 9 seconds of 4-on-4 here, and is an interference call against Rivs. So it'll be a minute 51 of now Minot State power play, and they've got the only power play goal of the night. They are also 1 for 6. Zern goes over to Olenek. Nespor has it off the half boards, and that's the end of the power play, or rather what was the power play for ASU. So Minot full strength, and they'll set up their offense for the power play for a minute 40.
And if you're Minot, this is a team that has not won in overtime this season.
ASU has won once in overtime, the only time they made it there. Bowen coming in, but he lost it for a moment, and Olenek trying to take advantage, and here comes Johnson.
Got to get back.
Young is there, so is Levos. That one goes off of Young's left leg. Zern keeps it in at the point, sends it around the boards. Young tries to get to the clearance, and they get it out of here. It looked like it was Chisholm.
A lot of frustration from that Minot shift right there coming off. Not happy about that power play, and we've seen a lot of that tonight.
Haroff try to find Olsen across the middle, and now Newmeyer picks it up. Here comes Olsen from behind. This one comes off of Hengen's shoulder. A shot, they score! Sean Murphy scores. Olenek comes in and shoves him.
Oh, dear.
Oh, boy, here we go. Nonetheless, ASU takes the lead no matter what, and they'll get a penalty out of it. 4-3 Devils. Murphy comes all the way in, a shorthanded goal.
Hey, we've seen it all night. Defensemen bringing it in by themselves, taking that shot that time. Hagen gives up the rebound right off of his shoulder. It goes right back to Newmeyer. We've seen a lot of, I wouldn't call it luck, but some favorable bounces to the attacking teams here in this game. Newmeyer got the hop right back to him, and he was able to take advantage of Hagen, who was already out of position. But now instead of a power play, it just looks like it's going to be 4-on-4, which I think, given the situation, is a best case scenario for Minot State. You definitely don't want to be down a man in the last 2.5 minutes of a game. You're trailing 1.
They're giving the goal to Burkemper.
That was definitely
I am
Newmeyer.
100% sure it was Murph.
Definitely. Was Murph?
I thought it was Murph.
I thought it was Newmeyer.
Point is, it wasn't Burkemper. We can agree on that.
No, I don't think, it definitely wasn't Burkemper.
We'll see if they can agree on it. Nonetheless, ASU in the lead. A little bit of 4-on-4 action here for 35 seconds. Olenek is in the box for unsportsmanlike. Cooney, a wrister, blocker save, rebound, knocked away. Johnson almost like spiked it down, going for a kill in volleyball.
Oh, he saw one going for a goal just a few seconds ago. There's no way he was letting that one fall in front of the goalie.
They do give the goal to Sean Murphy, so here it's your first time in the booth, young one.
Yeah,
you have to
cut me
learn.
some slack, yeah.
Down low here, chance in front for Nespor, but Levin is there.
Robert Levin just saying, hey, take it easy.
6 seconds left in 4-on-4, and then it'll be a 1:09 power play, which will really take us to almost the end of the game.
Yep, absolutely. And what's really crushing for a team like Minot State is the fact that we saw, how many minutes was it without a goal? 30, 40
over
some?
30 minutes.
Over 30 minutes. Now you're down a goal, and you've lost all the momentum. You were even with them, and now you're down 1. It's just, it kills you.
One more power play for ASU here.
And especially now that you're on the PK, you got to get a shorthanded goal.
Bellifer up ahead now. They work it ahead. Olsen. You've got Young to beat. Now here comes Haroff. Comes in low. Try to beat him 5-hole, but Levin is there. The stick and the glove.
Not surprised there. Olsen making a nice pass. He's got 13 assists on the season, and you can see it right there. A great scoring opportunity in front of the net. Just a better save by Levin.
Minot will call their timeout here with 1:25 and 48 seconds to go here. So doing quick math in my head, forgive me, but 37 seconds difference between these two clocks. They got to kill off this penalty first and foremost. Now, in those final 37 seconds, Kyle, do you pull Mr. Hengen?
I'm sorry?
Do you pull the goalie in Hengen?
Oh, yeah, I think you have to. I don't think, especially when you're down 1 here, what do you have to lose? I think you have to do that. Taking this into consideration, though, 5-on-5 has been pretty much the same as the power play tonight. So, I don't know. Is the extra man going to help you, really? I don't know. It's just going to be a matter of finding that right combination.
Well, I think what you do is you have your top line out there, which would be McNevin, Olsen, and Haroff. That 6th man would be Johnson. And
Has to be.
And you have your top, or one of your better defensive pairings of Peak and Pond, who have played stellar tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I think if that's what you're going to do, that is the best recipe here. Nonetheless, though, it is going to be very challenging regardless of who's out there. If you're ASU right now, this is where you just don't want to have a mental lapse. Don't consider this game over right now. Don't give up anything in front of the net. Don't turn the puck over. Hold on to it.
Here we go. ASU continues with 45 seconds left with the advantage. Young.
Hagen's already out.
They already pulled them out. Wow, so they're trying to play this as 5-on-5 for these 38 seconds. Norris is there, but they have to use Peak back there to make sure nothing goes on. They're trying to get it back. Johnson here. Belanger gets hit from behind at the red line. 22 seconds left. Spinning around. The puck comes free. Belanger now to Norris. He's got to beat Peak with an empty net. Now to Belanger. There it is. Empty net goal for Ryan Belanger. Assist from Norris. Put this one on ice, folks. 5-3 ASU.
And you know, that's just great defensive hockey by ASU right there. Staying back, waiting for something to come up to the top, and then as soon as that puck was up in the air, everybody converged on it. You had 3-on-1 going towards an empty net. You're going to score 9.9 times out of 10 on that one.
Empty net and a shorty. These last 2 goals to put it away. I don't think that's how they drew it up, but hey, it works.
Yeah, I don't think anything tonight was how anyone drew it up, so it would only be fitting.
So these final ticks, we look ahead now to tomorrow. These teams meet again at 7:30. Things really escalated here. As the game went on, you could sense the tension rising, you could sense the aggression and the frustration for both teams. There were penalties called that they didn't agree with, icings they didn't agree with. Here comes another icing. But it's the teams have their tempers flaring. And we saw the captain, Olenek, get into Murphy's face after he scored the go-ahead goal. So it could be a tone for tomorrow, but these are 2 very disciplined teams.
Yeah,
Very puzzling right now.
it is. You're absolutely right. The amount of penalties that we saw tonight was extremely unique. 2 very smart teams committed a lot of penalties tonight. And obviously, if you're Minot State, there's obviously some frustration. Of course, you're going to see someone get in someone's face after the put-away goal. So I just think Minot State's just got to carry that over into tomorrow night and play with the aggression and almost the adrenaline rush that they had here in the 3rd period.
Going to be a cross-check here with 9 seconds to go.
But I think if you're ASU, you need to be really lucky that this game turned out the way it did, because I don't think if Minot State is playing to the level that we know they're capable against the performance that the Devils put out there tonight, I think Minot State beats them and beats them well, especially considering the amount of penalties.
Zern's shot goes wide, and here is the horn. Big win for the Sun Devils. 5-3. They do it with a shorthanded goal from Sean Murphy. They also get an empty net goal from Ryan Belanger to end things. A good win for the Devils over a ranked opponent as well.
Yeah, and it was not pretty by any means. In fact, it's considerably ugly. But sometimes that's the way hockey works. The puck's going to bounce in a specific way. Someone's going to end up with the puck in the right spot, and that's just what we saw tonight. And I don't think this is any indication of what we're going to see tomorrow night. I think we're going to see a completely different game tomorrow that really puts an emphasis on speed and hustle and puck control. Tonight, I don't really know how to explain it, to be honest. It's that Thursday night itis that we see with Arizona State. They just can't get over it. And Minot State, I take this as a learning experience. This team has a lot of potential. This team has a lot of speed, a lot of talent, but they just couldn't execute tonight. During, how many opportunities on the power play? 7 or 8?
It was a lot.
Plenty of chances to score. Couldn't come through at the same time. You have to credit ASC's PK, but nonetheless, pretty shaky performance by both teams, and I think penalties will decrease tomorrow, and I think teams will really put an emphasis on taking advantage of the power plays. I mean, that's what you have to do in this game.
Well, here again, the final score, 5-3. Devils over the Beavers. Back here again tomorrow night. ASU now improves to 17-2. They avoid overtime, which would be really deadly here against the Minot State Beavers. As for those Beavers, I got to check my notes here. Also, for them, they now fall to 10-7-1 on the year. Again, the winning goal will go to Sean Murphy, and then an empty netter added on to Belanger, who is the points leader for the Sun Devils, as well as goals leader as well. So you're just adding on to the stats
it all
at
adds
the end
up.
of that. Well, that'll do it for us up here. Kyle, that was your first time here on Color. How'd you enjoy it?
Hey, well, they certainly didn't give me an easy game to try
No
to
way.
analyze, but, it certainly was fun. It was good. It was good. I'm looking forward to another opportunity.
All right, it was good to have you up here as well.
I appreciate it.
We'll get ready to send it over to the post-game report, but with Kyle Kirchhoff, I'm Dominic Catronio signing off from the broadcast booth. Final score tonight, Arizona State 5, Minot State 3. We thank you for watching, and this has been a production of the Walter Cronkite Sports Network.
Nice job, guys.
Thank you.
Good job. My hands are cold. Oh.
a little bit of technical difficulties here. So,
Okay, we're good.
all right. Well, a lot of craziness here tonight. That technical difficulty and more so the game. I have Allison Cummings alongside Troy Lynch. Arizona State defeats Minot State by a score of 5-3. Now, the moment you've been waiting for this whole period. He likes it when I give him compliments. I gave him the nickname of Chia Pet during the past couple of days.
We doing this?
Yeah, we are. Because your hair is really soft and he likes when I compliment him.
I condition my hair. I condition it. I like to pamper myself sometimes. I am not ashamed.
That's good. I mean, self-acceptance really is a good thing.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, I owe you a win. We had predictions at the end of last period, and you predicted that Arizona State was going to win. I decided to challenge you on that.
That's right.
Therefore, you are the winner.
Thank you.
I lose. I will admit that because I'm a big person.
I'd like to dedicate this one to my mom. Thanks for watching, Mom.
Right, well,
You're great.
he loves his mom, but we're going to get to a more important issue now.
Oh.
I love your mom. Anyways, so Minot State, they lost the game, you could say arguably because of that penalty they took last minute. They would have been on the power play at the end of the game had they not taken that penalty. Troy, is that the biggest factor for you?
No, it's not the biggest factor to me because ASU, they weren't as smart as they should have been, and they had the penalty, and then their goal was shorthanded. So that kind of just kind of goes to show that Minot State was playing a little bit sloppy, and they weren't really ready, and they definitely weren't expecting that one goal from ASU. So ASU took advantage definitely, and that's how they came up with the win, and they just ran with it.
And they tried to rebound there. They pulled the goalie, and then Ryan Belanger got that open net goal. But really, this game for me was the roll of the dice. The roll of the dice being that second period with all the craziness that happened, because really it could have went many different ways, and quite frankly, we said it then, I'll say it again now, they were lucky they got away with that. But refocusing now onto tomorrow, things are probably going to get changed up a lot on both sides. If you are Coach Powers, first of all, what are you telling your team right now?
You got to stay focused, and you can't let this win. You just got to put it behind you now. I mean, you won. You were supposed to. You're ranked number 2. Minot State's ranked number 12th. You're supposed to win. So every team is going to play you guys better on the second game, and that's what's been happening throughout the entire season. So they need to come out laser focused. We might see some more line changes from Coach Greg Powers. We might not. He probably will, but no matter what the lines are, they have to play with even more energy. They need to limit their penalties for sure, and they just got to play smart hockey.
My takeaways for Arizona State was, 1, they weren't very happy with the officiating.
No,
2, their penalty kill did a very good job today of clogging the slots. And lastly, 3, the energy level was very high. Very well done. But I'm really interested, will Eric Rivard be on the first line tomorrow, yes or no?
I think he did. I think Eric Rivard, he came out with a good amount of energy, and he kept the pace going the entire game, and that's exactly what you need. I mean, obviously you got 2 of complete starters up on the first line, but that third spot on the line is always up for grabs. So I'm gonna say yes, because I think Eric Rivard definitely deserves it. He was all over. He was playing good defense, really being aggressive with his stick, just doing it all. But who knows? We might see it, we might not.
So you say Arizona State will have Eric Rivard starting in tomorrow.
I do.
Just to confirm that.
Just
okay.
to confirm that.
I think I have that as well. But now we're going to switch sides to Minot.
Okay.
I was talking to Coach Regier before the game started, and he said their tactic with Arizona State, they know they're deep, they know they're skilled. They want to keep them around the outskirts, outskate them because they're fast.
That's right.
Do you feel like they did that today even though they lost?
I do think that they did that, especially on the power play. They were kind of limiting the space in the middle of the ice, and they're just keeping the puck on the perimeter, and that's exactly what they did, kind of forcing ASU to shoot back from the blue line. And Connor Schmidt, he had a ton of shots on goal during the power play, but they weren't the best shots because they had nobody really in front of the goalie, blocking the goalie's view, and it was just easy saves for Minot State's goalie. So they really need to kind of just, figure out their game plan tomorrow, kind of get out the nooks and crannies and, come out and play some smart hockey.
Right. I agree with that. I think this game could have easily gone either way. I mean, I would say that penalty at the end of the game from Minot State wasn't the best, penalty there. But it really could have gone either way. They
It
both
really
had
could.
some pretty easy bounces, and then that bounce just did not go in their favor. But tomorrow, what are your predictions for tomorrow?
I think ASU is going to come out with the win again, but I think they're going to fall behind early, and they're going to have to come back. But I do think that they're going to pull away with the win 5-3.
Right. Well, if you're in Minot State, you lost to Arizona State twice before you came here. You lost to them again yesterday. They do not want to come all the way from North Dakota to come here and lose a fourth time, although I think no matter what, they're happy to get away from that snow. It's been pretty bad over
Freezing.
there. It is like, 77, 78 degrees outside here?
Oh my gosh, it's terrible. I can barely bear it. My hands are kind of changing colors a little bit, but
Yeah.
We'll
yeah.
see how it happens.
You gotta bundle up here. You might not make it past anything.
My goodness.
But one thing is for sure, you do have to bundle up in Oceanside. We go outside to defrost, so at least we have that luxury.
That's always nice.
It is always nice. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. Definitely gonna be a good game. You don't want to miss it. Be sure to tune in. For Troy Lynch, I'm Allison Cummings. Good night.